Pride in crisis. The organization has fired its director, and our very own Sue-Ann Levy has outed several fiscal scandals. And Peter MacKay says he would like to march in this year's Pride. What's the problem with that?
Well, when they were interviewing, to the tail end of the meeting, when they were interviewing potential new board members, who I might add will just be more of the same, radicals, a couple of them were asked, would you agree to having Peter MacKay march? And there was all of a sudden this crazy, crazy outburst from the crowd. No, no, don't let him march, don't let him march. And this was after they'd said, no, don't let the police march. The gentleman behind me, who had been perfectly nice and quiet through the whole thing, said, he sort of led the charge and said, no, absolutely not. The answer is no. And they're all screaming. And I turned to him and I said, what's wrong with him being involved? You know, you criticized Rob Ford and the Ford brothers for not marching. So now this conservative wants to march. And he said, conservatives are evil, da-da-da-da-da. He kept going on about how bad conservatives are and how they're against gay rights. I looked at him and I said, well, I'm conservative and I'm gay. So what's your problem? And he said, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you for being conservative.
While we wait to see if Peter MacKay is actually going to walk in this year's Pride Parade, what are some of the fiscal irregularities you uncovered?
Well, after a SHIT show of a meeting the other night, annual general meeting, I truly believe that the politicians who fund Pride to the tune of more than $2 million should back off and not give them 1 cent before the current board, if you want to call it that, resigns and is shown the door.
Those are strong words. Why are you saying that?
Because, well, first of all, I unveiled a series of fiscal improprieties, some of which were, and harassment, some of which were subject to an investigation that cost the Pride organization $35,000 over the course of this past summer. The investigation report was made available to the board in early January, but the chairperson of the meeting, Michael Erickson, who came across as arrogant, incompetent, and just totally disconnected from the needs of the members on Wednesday night, he said that would be inappropriate to release the results of the report. And trust us, folks, we've handled all of this. So number one, they won't even reveal what was investigated and whether they've learned lessons from the financial improprieties. That's the first thing. The second thing is that they fired Olivia Nuama on January the 14th, the executive director, with no notice, no severance, and no indication what she'd done. And when the Pride membership asked the other night what led them to fire her, they said, we can't comment. So basically, every single question they were asked the other night, they would not comment. The other thing is that they installed themselves, they were supposed to be an interim board, these group of radicals, incompetent radicals, installed themselves for 3-year terms in a rather unethical meeting on January the 14th, the day before Olivia was fired, and they would not even speak to that the other night. They would not stand for re-election. They said, tough luck, guys, we're in. So to me, it sounds like a power-mad bunch of radicals who just want to run this organization into the ground.
All right, well, we'd love to know what you think of this on Twitter and Facebook, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.